Today we're going to talk about ransomware attacks on supply chain companies. There's been a tripling of attacks on supply chain companies between 2019 and 2020. And 2021 is shaping up to be even worse. There's been a number of attacks this summer alone. In June, the largest manufacturer of refined oil products, Colonial Pipeline, was attacked by ransomware. The attack was so serious that it caused a run on gasoline and congressional hearings. The congressional hearings warned that attacks are becoming more frequent, sophisticated, and aggressive. Colonial Pipeline had to pay $5 million for the ransomware attack. The government got back most of it, but that's not the usual case. Further recent attacks have included Hyundai, who had to pay $20 million to protect its global logistics data. JBS, the world's largest meat supplier, who had to pay $11 million in ransomware attacks. And just last month, 200 companies were attacked by a Russian syndicate called REvil, who attacked 200 companies, demanding $70 million. These companies are so sophisticated that they actually have a website with a help desk that will help your company figure out how to pay them in Bitcoins. So what's at stake? The costs add up to more than just the ransomware payment. Trucking giant Forward Air lost $7.5 million in shutdown costs alone. Besides the cost of ransomware and the cost of the business being shut down, businesses also lose their customers' confidence. So what is ransomware? It's a malicious software with a singular goal: to hold your company's data hostage and extort money from you. It's a type of malware that uses a virus to encrypt your company's data. If the company refuses to pay the ransom, then its data is either released to the public or it's never recovered by the company, causing them loss of all their computer networks. So how do companies get into the system? All it takes is a single employee clicking on an email. Malware. Viruses typically enter the company's computer through a phishing scheme. This is where they get an employee to click on an attachment to an email. The email usually looks like it's coming from a well-known company that's trusted, the CEO of the company, a colleague, something like that. Once the criminals enter the system, then they can sit there for weeks or even months and study the system for vulnerabilities. So here's some tips to prevent disaster. Back up everything and store it offline. And do this often. This includes CRM, spreadsheets, invoices, everything. According to cybersecurity experts, this is the single most important way to prevent problems from a ransomware attack. Review all servers. Linux servers typically handle these kind of attacks the best. Security awareness. Train everyone in the organization the dangers of ransomware. Talk to them about phishing schemes and tell them not to open attachments. I recently received an email from our CEO, but it was in the spam folder, which was a little weird to me. And then it asked for my phone number. The CEO has my phone number, so I knew something was wrong. When I looked at the actual address from where the email was sent, it wasn't even sent from the CEO. All employees in an organization must be trained on best practices. Use antivirus and anti-malware software and other security practices. This is to keep malware from launching an attack once it's sitting on your server. Keep offline backups of data stored in locations inaccessible from any potentially infected computers. Use disconnected devices, such as external hard drives or the cloud, which prevents them from being accessed by ransomware. Install the latest security updates issued by software vendors of your operating system and applications. Remember to patch early and patch often to close known vulnerabilities in operating systems, browsers, and web plugins. Consider deploying security software to protect endpoints, email servers, network systems from infection. Segment your network to keep critical computers isolated and to prevent spread of malware in case of an attack. Turn off unneeded network shares. Turn off admin rights for users who don't require them. Give users the lowest system permissions that they need to do their job. And finally, restrict write permissions on file servers as much as possible. So to wrap up, nobody wants to be crushing it in logistics, to find a black screen suddenly come up saying that the computer system has been shut down by a ransomware attack. Logistics companies work too hard to let cyber criminals affect their bottom line. On a separate note, if you're using an FTP, file transfer protocol, we're going to do a separate video on that. So look for that because that's important too. Everyone take care out there, be safe, and avoid ransomware attacks. Thanks for joining me. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Please share this video with other people, whether they're in logistics or not. This is an important subject. Once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.